Self-development made me live only in the future. And you might think it's not a problem, but I realized that it's a kind of problem because right now I'm traveling in Bangkok. There's whole different culture, different from Europe. I can see all those interesting places and temples. But instead of enjoying this trip, I am still in my head thinking about the future that I want to live. I'm not anxious about the future. In fact, I'm looking forward to the future because I know after a few years of self-development, the future and myself is gonna be way better than my current self. But if you are living only to have a better future, you are not enjoying the present moment. And when you think about it, all we have in the life is the present moment. We don't have the past or the future. All we have is right now in this moment that we are living. And I got obsessed with my future and self-development and improving myself so my future can be great and I can be happy, free man and the best version of myself in the future. I got obsessed since I started self-development. I didn't have that problem a few years ago when I wasn't on self-development. In fact, I had the opposite problem. I was not thinking about the future, but I was thinking about the past all the time. I was thinking what I have done wrong in the past, what are my failures, which is even worse than thinking about the future. But still, if you think about the future all of the time, it's not optimal because you are not enjoying and living in the present moment. So right now, after I realized that I have a problem, I have two ways to solve it. Either I'm gonna keep living the same way, thinking about the future, because I believe if I think about the future, I don't know why, but I have a feeling if I think about the future, that the future is gonna be more likely to become into reality. I don't know why, but I have like control over. When I think about the future, I have control over it. I can plan, but I don't enjoy the present moment because I am in my head all the time. Or the second way that I can do, I can start living in the present moment. But when I think about living only in the present moment, I am terrified of it. Because if you are living in the present moment, you are not in your head. You cannot plan your future. You cannot think about your future. And I realized after doing some research that when you are anticipating the future, you get dopamine in your head. So it's essentially like an addiction. And I realized that I am addicted to thinking about the future. I get dopamine from it and it makes me more happy. And I don't know why. But if I'm addicted to dopamine all the time, thinking and anticipating the future that I want to live, I'm like a drug addict. And instead, I don't do any bad habits, I don't do junk food, I don't do smoking. I have really good habits, I live great lifestyle, but the only addiction that I realize that I have is thinking about the future. And I have to remove it. Otherwise, I'm gonna not be present ever in my life. Because the spiritual teaching are saying that you are the most powerful when you are in the present moment, when you are present. If you are present, you are not in your head. You are the most authentic version of yourself. You don't care about what others think of you because you are in your body and you don't think. And that's what I want to achieve. I want to become present person. But now, after years of thinking about past or the future, how I'm gonna transition into the habit of thinking only in the present moment and being and living the life that I have right now and not in the future. After making a plan for about an hour, I decided that I'm gonna do this way. I'm gonna have 2 blocks where I can plan and think about the future because it's still important. If you don't think about your future, you cannot plan it. You don't know how it's gonna look. You don't know what direction are you on. So it's still important to plan your future, but you don't have to think about it all day long. So, I'm gonna think about my future and plan my future every single day in the morning and in the evening. But in my day-to-day life, I want to be as present as I can possibly ever be. So basically, it's like meditation. Every time my mind wanders into the past or the future, I have to bring it back to my body into the present moment. And what's that gonna do? It will increase my focus so much. If I'm gonna practice this daily, I'm gonna be a different man after I get into the habit and after I integrate this habit into myself. With focus, you can do everything that you want to do with your life. So, and that's it. I'm gonna plan my day in advance in the morning and I'm gonna reflect back on it in the evening. And the rest of the time, I'm gonna try my best to be present. It's essentially like meditation. And that is my plan. How to not be obsessed with my future all of the time and learn how to enjoy the life in the present moment. That's my goal. That was my only problem with self-development. I've been only obsessed about the future. I've not been enjoying the present moment. And I believe I'm not the only one. I believe most of the people are living either in the future or in the past. But you are the most powerful version of yourself when you are in the present moment and not in your head. Imagine when you are the happiest person, when I ask my question, I am the happiest person in my entire life. When I am with my friends, not thinking about the past or the future, just being in my present moment and having fuck ton of fun. That's the peak of the human experience for me, and I want to feel it more. So that's why I'm taking the action to being in the present moment. If you don't know how to become a present in the moment, just focus on your breath. If you are focusing on your breath, you cannot focus on anything else and you will live in the present moment. Thanks for watching this video and see you soon in another one.